Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the OSA conference. I'm Lou Smirlis, Editorial Director with Transportation Media. Driver wellness is an increasingly important issue. Critical to driver wellness and safety is being able to get a good night's sleep. Yet, obstructive sleep apnea, OSA, the most common form of sleep apnea, is that thief in the night that robs so many people in our industry of that precious, restful sleep that they require. And the consequences of this can be severe.
I was physically, mentally tired every day. Never mind the physical stuff, waking up every morning with headaches. I'm a guy. I don't ever want to admit there's anything wrong. I think there's a lot of guys out there that they could have a sucking chest wound and they probably wouldn't want to go to the doctor. Pride was the biggest thing. I didn't want to be looked at as that guy with sleep apnea.
Obstructive sleep apnea is when you're lying, quite often on your back, but you're lying down and your tongue falls back and obstructs the flow of air through your throat. But 9 out of 10 of those people don't know they've got it. They haven't been diagnosed, and that matters. It matters because they have 4 times the chance of a stroke, 4 times the chance of a heart attack, 4 times the chance of having resistive high blood pressure, in addition to many times the chance of having an accident. So you want to have it treated.
In the US already, many companies are already testing for sleep apnea. They foresee the future, that they're going to have to test. So they're testing it. Well, the result of those companies testing already sets the standard. The fact that they're testing it becomes the new standard in Canada. I think what's going to happen is companies that do not test are going to be falling behind. They're going to have a higher probability of being found negligent by the courts. So the fact that we don't have any current legislation that specifically mandates testing is going to be irrelevant. So your driver's going to the US and he has an accident and there's a connection between sleep apnea. It's determined that he has sleep apnea or likely has sleep apnea. You're going to be hit not only for the damages and the personal injuries, but punitives as well.
All the things that you do today in terms of, keeping records on your driver's logs, maintenance records, training, all of these things that go into it. Now there's this whole component around sleep apnea, which is, of course, the diagnosis of it and the treatment of it and the way you approach it, the records that you keep, the communications that you have with your drivers, with your companies. All of those things become into play, and if you're not going to do it, a good plaintiff lawyer is going to inflame and inflate. In these jurisdictions, a plaintiff lawyer is going to take that accident and take it beyond the accident. It no longer is a trucking accident. It's no longer about my personal injuries. It's about how can I inflame and inflate a claim. And the best way to do that is to attack your company. And to attack your company, it's done by attacking your practices or creating a perception that you don't have any risk management. And that's why the practices around screening and implementing programs around these issues is very, very important.
There's a lot of misconceptions. This industry that we regulate like to have a on-off switch. It's really nice to tell me where the bar is. You show me where the bar is and I'll make sure I meet the bar. In fact, if you look through our regulations, you'll be hard-pressed to even find OSA in our regulations.
So let's say there's a major accident, I don't know, a school bus gets hit or something.
No better way to
Driver had
legislate.
sleep apnea, now it's trial by CNN.
Sure.
And all of a sudden things move a lot faster.
Fast-tracked.
Okay, so there's definitely the potential there that
Correct.
things will happen at a much faster pace.
The idea is that if you do get diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea, the doctors can actually sign off your medical card that you're good to go. You've been treated, the treatment's successful, as we've heard from the doctors. It's not that hard to treat, and you can continue on with your career infinitum.
Since January of 2011, every commercial driver we have hired has had to go through pre-screening. It's widely been embraced. We have 138 commercial drivers at Kriska today treating obstructive sleep apnea. Starts with education. People need to be explained what it's all about and demystify the fears. Partnering with a clinic is very important, and I think the results of our safety profile, our retention profile, and our recruiting profile would suggest that it's not driving people away from our organization, it's actually attracting people to it.